Okay, we have another question. And the question is, how do we shift our thinking around distrust and betrayals? Okay, I'm going to ask them. Distrust and betrayals are a double-edged sword, meaning they hurt on the past and they hurt in the future. So it's like both edges of the sword are turned inward to hurt you. While it is a learning that people can hurt you, it's also a disruption of your strength, of your power. Many people learn this at a very young age, but if you didn't learn it at a young age, if you think the whole world is beautiful and working towards you, and you are suddenly had a setback of betrayal, then it tends to be a trauma. And so, okay, now they're talking about trauma. So how does one get through trauma? Well, there are three things. Some people shellac it over, they bury it. And then it abscesses to become a vibrational unit within their body that continues to rear its ugly head at every opportunity. Well, be careful, this looks like a situation that might go wrong. All people that look like this are going to betray us. It's that type of thing. Even though we're not consciously remembering this, it's the unconscious rule that comes up and affects our emotions, which, of course, affects our behavior. So what do we do about releasing that? And what they're talking about that is when you do something like that, when you bury it, shellac it over, hide it from yourself so you can function. And many people cover it up with jollity or food or alcohol or any other trigger blocking substance. I'm not saying it's bad to be happy. I'm just saying if you're using humor to hide your pain, which many people who are comedians do, the pain never goes away. Okay? So, looks like the dog just opened the door. Nice doggy. Anyway, what we're saying is the best thing to do is to face the shadows and understand that the pain going in, you don't have to talk about it and do talk therapy and, drag the fingernails on the chalkboard about it every single time, because all that does is re-trigger the pathways in the mind and keep it top of mind. And the whole point of burying it is to not let it be top of mind. So what does one do instead? The first thing you do is make friends with distance. And what we mean by that is set yourself an objective view of the issue. Set yourself a way to view this issue as if you are viewing it around someone else. See if you can see the moment through the eyes of someone else. Maybe their behavior was triggered by fear. Maybe their behavior was triggered by a traumatic event. Maybe their behavior was triggered by just a lack of understanding in who you were. Because trauma is always given to us by someone else, right? Always. So when we can find compassion for the moment, not for the person, you don't have to have compassion for the person, although that does help. But if you can find compassion for the moment and see it in the clear-eyed way of simply that person was doing what their trigger brain railroaded them into doing, and I just happened to get run over by the train. See what I mean? It was no fault of my own, because that's one of the things about betrayal. I should have known. I should have known. I should have seen it. Yes, recriminations don't help. So there's the next thing you can do. After you look at it clear-eyed, understand if there was a warning, if there was an indication. And it's not just in this particular situation. People who betray tend to betray their movements. Duplicitousness shows. So see if you can see the markers. Study that. Learn from it. Forewarned is forearmed. Now, I'm not saying it's simple, is what they're saying. What they're saying is forgive yourself first, and then see if there's a way that you can learn from it. Because a lot of times with betrayal, you condemn yourself and you won't let it go. All right, now let's see. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Yes. The betrayal and distrust are often laid long and deep and low, meaning they're hardwired in. Because it's easy to betray somebody who is guileless, who is innocent, who is not expecting it. And so one's first betrayal is often done to the innocent, to the trusting. And it's unfortunate, but it happens all the time. Humans are the cruelest animals around. They just are. And we don't understand why. So here are the steps if you have been betrayed at a young age. Find a way to not continue the perpetration of distrust and betrayal towards yourself. Check and see. Because often we come away with, I am not enough, I do not trust, I react and lash out. We come away with feelings of unsafeness. So if you can have quiet conversations with yourself around when was the time when I remembered feeling safe, and how can I regain that feeling back to me? All right, they're saying that moment, the how can I regain that safe feeling back to me, does work best if you have a mirror partner. When you speak, they mirror back, so you can actually hear what you're saying. When they speak, they allow you to see and hear. It's difficult to see your stuff yourself because you told yourself you wanted it hidden, is what they're talking about. So the bottom line is, they're saying, is find either a partner or a way to journal with yourself, or a way to distance yourself from the moment so you can look at it clear-eyed without the emotion, so you can see the truth of it, and then welcome those shadows back into your life. That is how you work around distrust and betrayal. Not all humans will betray you unless you vibrate at the level of betrayal, that you are calling to you more people to betray you. So what you're going to do is work with that shadow, work with that fear, and find a way to make friends with it. Because when we open up the shadows, they're no longer fear generating. When we open up the dark places and become friends with them, then they're no longer fear generating. Please get help. Please get distance. And please, most of all, have compassion for the moments of betrayal so they can no longer have power in your life. I hope this helps. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.